Hi guys, and welcome back to LPB Racing for the WEC Championship on Project Cars 2. We are ready for a start here at Austin, Texas, Circuit of the Americas, as we get ready to go for race 2. So going down through the starting grid, everyone keeping within the grid positions. There's Stacker in the Toyota. As we get off and underway, obviously Footman was on pole in his class and Bidzster on pole in his. As we go up towards the first corner, watching the LPB ones, Footman into the lead then. Then it's Growly Bear trying to go around the outside of Arsadaro, Constantina up and Blakeney, a little tap to Stacker, and then bang! Keith goes straight into Stacker, and Stacker ends up taking all the boards out, so not good there by Keith. Looked like he straightened up his steering there, but we'll get a replay on that after the first lap's finished. As we go through the left right section, Arsadaro and Growly's off the road as well. Growly's off the road there, and Blakeney comes up to try and take advantage, but can't quite. And then we've got Keith behind in the Audi. So it's Footman, Arsadar, Growly, Blakeney, Keith and Stacker so far. In the LMP1, as we've got a couple of cars challenging each other back here. It's Keith challenging the Toyota in front of Blakeney as he tries to go up the inside. Stacker now closing back up after the little argy-bargy with Keith, as Arsadar's being passed by Growly into the hairpin as well. And then we've got the Toyota fighting back at the Audi there. We've got Stacker and Keith going side by side down toward the next corner, almost contact on the straight. Arsadar's up the inside of Growly as well, trying to get through. Growly keeps position, and then we've got Stacker up the inside of the Audi of Keith and goes straight through. So Stacker redeems himself from the, well, not redeems himself, so yeah, sort of takes back what was rightfully his in a way, because he got nudged off. So Stacker goes back into 5th place. So let's have a look at the GT boys then. Bidzster in the lead of that from Stevie TY, and then Callum and Neil a bit further back. So all quite close in that battle as well. So Bidzster goes through there. Stevie exits the corner there as well, a little bit wider, but gets away with it. As we look at the leaders then, got Footman and Growly here, and then we've got Blake and Arsadar battling out here. Blake's up the inside into the last corner. Arsadar gives him gives him an acre of space, goes wide, and then Blakeney keeps it tight, and then doesn't really manage to get an advantage or anything, so just turns into the corner really too tight. So Footman in the lead then from Growly Bear, Arsadar Blade, then Blakeney in 4th, Stacker and then Keith. So that's the order so far in that one. Okay, here's a replay of the start then on board with Stacker, so you can see what happened to him. So he gets a good start, goes around Keith, and then he's actually closing up to second in class there, Growly Bear. And then as we go into the first corner, he keeps to the outside, just to stay out of trouble, keeps to the outside. Those two cars go together there. Blakeney is a little tap, and then bang! Keith comes straight across and knocks him off even further. So Stacker was trying to keep out of the way a little bit there, because he had two cars side by side with him, and then he got absolutely mobbed by Blakeney and Keith. Okay, here's another view of that then from on board with Keith. So we go into the first corner. You see Arsadar and Growly there side by side. So Stacker goes to the outside. Blakeney gives him just a little tap, and then Keith straightens up his steering and goes straight into Stacker there. So very weird driving there from Keith. It's not like Keith to do that, but again, that could be a penalty so far in that one. As Stevie now under pressure from TY here. So will TY have a little look? Obviously Blakeney did quite well in the Aston earlier, so now it's TY's turn to show what the Aston can do. So obviously quite suits this track, because it's quite a track that's good on a rear end happy car. So TY doing very well there. As we look to the battle ahead in the LMP1, we've got Blakeney now pressurising Arsadar Blade as they go up and over the top, out of that section and over the dip. Through the kink, Blakeney goes to the inside. Arsadar tries to defend, but Blakeney's still there, and he's close as you like under brakes. Blakeney gets a good little run there on the exit of the corner, gets the hybrid power down in the Toyota and gets the power down, but Arsadar in the Marek, look, he's got more hybrid power at the top end, and then just fights straight back. So both completely side by side down the straight then towards the end. Battle on the brakes, battle of bravery, and Arsadar goes straight in for the apex, slices straight in front of Blakeney. Have that sunshine. So Arsadar Blade maintains 3rd position for now. Blakeney's still hot on his heels though. Oh, almost contact out of that corner as well. These boys were battling in race 1, and now they're battling in race 2. Ooh, close. Blakeney almost runs into the back of Arsadar there. So again, they were close in race 1, and now they're close again in race 2. So brilliant stuff here between Arsadar and Blakeney. The battle to watch at the minute. As we go through here, Arsadar Blade goes really wide, and Blakeney goes straight through. So opens the door, leave it, goes straight through, and that's how that changes. Bidzster now with Stevie's still behind him, and TY still pressurising Stevie here. So still a very close battle back here as Callum tries to keep in touch in 4th place in class. So obviously, like I said in the first round, Stevie's gone off. Stevie goes straight off onto the curb, spins it round. Not good there from Stevie. Oh well. Now he's doing donuts. He's trying to entertain the crowd a little bit, and then gets back going. So a bit of showboating there from Stevie, but I'm sure it wasn't on purpose. So Bidzster then in the lead. TY up to 2nd place now. Callum up to 3rd. Obviously, like I was saying earlier, I have noticed a flaw in the point system, because if you look, Bidzster can only finish 7th in GT, obviously if he wins his class, whereas Footman could finish 6th. So that's the difference between the points that I was on about in the first race. So yeah, a bit of a flawed championship point system this season, but still a very enjoyable championship nonetheless, and Footman has done a very good job to be at the front anyway. So this is not a stab at Footman or anyone else, just this is just saying that the point system was a bit flawed to start with, and I've obviously only just realised over these last couple of races, because it's yeah, Footman keeps on pulling away from Bidzster, but never mind. It's still been a good championship. It's been very, very close, and some of the battles and on-track action have been good as well, so we can't fault that. As Keith now close to Arzadar Blade, so Arzadar going backwards here in this Marek, so obviously not enjoying this car very much here as Keith closes up in the Audi. As Arzadar Blade goes a bit wide there, it's just a lag. Again, I don't know why, but the game was lagging a little bit on the night for some reason. Can't think why, but just makes the car step every now and again. So I do apologise for that quality problem. But there we are, TY slowly starting to catch Bidzster. So just keeping a nice rhythm going here, TY, as he turned into that corner there, very nicely through there. And obviously Stevie further back after having that spin the previous lap. So the battle on track at the minute between Arzadar and Keith is the main one that's close at the minute. So going down the hill and then into the left, right, there's Arzadar Blade and there's Keith. So was that Arzadar Blade going a bit wide there? I just saw him going a bit wide. It might have been, but not to worry there. Obviously remember the guys, the pit window, lap 7 to 14. So lap 7 to lap 14 is the pit window. So there's TY from Bidzster. So he's closed it in about half a second now. It was a couple of seconds, now it's 1.5. So TY on the move here. Bidzster getting caught as we go out of there and we go down through the sunset here at Austin, Texas. Beautiful scenery here. So Footman then in the lead of the race overall in LMP1. So Footman doing what he does best at the front in his class. So well done. Division B leader is in front, as Division B second is Growly Bear. So Growly Bear 2nd place then overall. Blakeney with Arzadar Blade behind him and Keith. So a lot quite close between all them. So Blakeney must have made a little mistake and gone back into the hands of Arzadar slightly, but nevertheless still a good battle here so far as Arzadar Blade goes through there. Oh, Keith goes very wide there as the camera tries to catch up with him, but yep, Keith going slightly wide through there and quite a dirty nose cone on the front of that Audi, but never mind. As we go through the second to last corner, it's a very hard corner to get, and obviously you've got to watch the track limits there as well. But I'd have to say everyone in the first race actually behaved themselves quite well with the track limits, and round here I'm not surprised because Keith goes a little bit of a wobble on there, but I'm not surprised people are really respecting the track limits this time because well, they should every time really, but this track more than others because the curbs are quite harsh. And also, for some reason, it makes this track on this game is for some reason quite slippy when you go offline. So you go offline and it's very, very slippy, and you can easily end up spinning. So a lot of people are staying away from the edges on purpose in this one, just to try and keep the car on the track. There's Callum, there's Neil in the Corvette, Arzadar's teammate, and Stevie there back in the Ford GT. Sorry, I just clicked the wrong button there. And Stevie there in the Ford GT a bit further back. As we've got Footman in the lead. Let's just see how close these are now. So Arzadar now within a second of Blakeney. You can see the gap visually closer there. Now as they go onto the straight, the Toyota will get a really good initial boost out of the corner. But then Arzadar will have slightly more top end speed because his hybrid there, you can see the gap going down because his hybrid just keeps going because there's more of it to use. It's not as powerful as the Toyota. It's probably about a good 50 to 60 horsepower down on the Toyota's hybrid power, but it does last about 3 or 4 seconds longer, which is all the difference. When you go, I thought that Blakeney had come across on RZR Blade there, but it's just RZR catching up. Blakeney taking a wide line, so Blakeney struggling here. RZR Blade all over the back of him. Lap 5. Round the Blakeney's gone wide round the right-hander, and RZR Blade just goes straight through, but then goes wide, and Blakeney says thank you very much, I'll take that back and I'll try again. So Blakeney in third, then RZR Blade still all over the back of him as they go out this corner. The Toyota will get the initial power, and then here comes the Marek with the extra boost, or the longer boost should I say, and he just goes straight round the Toyota like he stood still. But will Blake fight back on the brakes? He'll try, but RZR Blade goes in, very deep, and look, so does Blakeney, so they both take very detourish routes there, so can't really put a track limits call on that, because both cars ended up making the same mistake. So yep, can't help that. There was a bit of lag there again, so I do apologise for that, but the room did have a bit of lag on it on the night, so yeah, bit of a laggy room. So probably someone's connection that wasn't helping the overall room connection. As RZR Blade then ahead of Blakeney in 4th place overall, and then we've got Keith in the diesel Audi e-tron closing up behind. So, but we've got Blakeney still closing up on RZR here. He's not done with RZR yet. Has a little sneak look up the inside, just trying to put the pressure on, but he knows now that RZR will get away on this straight. Yes, he'll have a good initial boost, but RZR Blade will just pull away with that extra long time with the boost, and yet you can see him pulling away there on the graphic at the top. So into the braking zone then, there they go, through here. Let's have a look back at the GT boys then. Bidzster from TY is still more or less the same gap, so not really much change there. TY from Bidzster, so still 1.3 seconds, it was 1.5, so it's gone down a couple of tenths, but nothing too major at this point, as Bidzster slides the car around there. And two very different driving styles here from Bidzster and TY, so we go through here. As nicely through there, and then let's watch TY as well. Again, nice lines there from TY, so both two of the top guys in LPB racing close together on track, battling it out. And Stevie now has passed Callum, so Callum's gone backwards here. Callum's gone off somewhere, I think. He's gone down, so we'll just get a replay on what happened to Callum there. Okay, here's a replay of what happened to Callum then on lap 6. So he goes through the S's and then just hits the curb and then loses the back end and straight into the wall. So we're lucky there for Callum, that's what lost him those places. And as you come back from that replay, Footman is now right behind Callum, so Footman's starting to lap the first of his traffic, and he goes straight around Callum there, so I would imagine everyone will be turning the lights on at some point, so everyone will need the lights on, because otherwise you'll not be able to see him. Here's Growly Berry, he's got his lights on. RZR Blade not yet, but again, I would imagine the room host, Bidzster, would the LPB racing host Bidzster would probably say to people in a few laps just to can all cars turn the lights on, and they probably will. As Keith now 5 tenths behind Blakeney, so Blakeney going back into the hands of Keith slowly then, so he's losing RZR and he's going back into the hands of the Audi. So again, the Audi of Keith closes up under brakes. Both go very wide there, but still not really much time gained, if any at all. In fact, there might have been a slight bit of time gain there actually, but Keith's now back in the draft, he'll close back up again. So the gap roughly maintains the same. As we look at TY now with Bidzster 2 seconds ahead, so all cars now have got the lights on, I would imagine. As Bidzster's not got his lights on yet, but I would imagine they will do soon. So as we go through here, down the bottom end, as Footman laps Neil Farmack. So Neil Farmack getting lapped by the LMP1 cars, as the LMP1 cars now and the GT cars both on their pit windows. So sorry for that late call, but yeah, pit windows are both now open. So Footman goes through, Growly Bear goes through as well. No, don't think there'll be anyone particularly pitting this early, because they'll need to get the tyres to last at least half distance and then swap, because then they'll have fresh rubber towards the end, because the tyre wear on this track is very, very bad. So you've got to watch out for that. There's Stacker sitting last place in class, 6th place. So not doing too well in this one, unfortunately. Stacker is, in all fairness, in this race he got a bit bullied at the start, so but still soldiering on like a good lad. We've got TY back here as well. He's still 2 seconds behind Bidzster, so I would imagine all cars would have the lights on. Bidzster will in a minute, I would imagine. There's Neil Farmack around here somewhere, and the camera decides to wake up and catch up to him. There he goes, out the corner. Neil Farmack onto the back straight then. So have a look at Blakeney and Keith then. That's still the closest battle on track at the minute. There goes Blakeney up and over the top, and then Keith just behind in the Audi. As over the curb there from Blake, who's slowed himself down a bit doing that. He'll have had to lift off. Keith closes right in on the brakes. And Blake goes wide again, but then he does snap the car back on, but that's lost him some speed there, and Keith gets right in the draft now. But the Audi does not have the top end speed on the Toyota. But in the draft on the internal combustion engine power, it's going to be close at the end. Blakeney goes out to defend, Keith goes to the outside. I don't think there's any way through there. But this is where obviously the Toyota's quite a good point and shoot when it comes to the hybrid. You know, get the car straight and then get the power on to get all the power out of it that you can, and use the hybrid, the immense hybrid power to his advantage. But with Keith will be good around this section, because the Audi is very, very good around all the tight, all the long, fast corners. It's got some really good cornering here, and you can see visually catching him up round these corners, and then into this corner as well. He'll be good round here. He's closing, but still no way through for Keith yet. So I'm just going to quickly check through. Oh, Arzadar Blade's in the pits then. So Arzadar Blade, one of the first cars to pit. Don't think any of the GT boys have pitted yet. No, Callum is. Callum and Arzadar then are the first ones to pit in their classes respectively. So Footman goes through there. And then Growly Bear. There he is in second place. He's got Stevie to pass now in the Ford GT. And there's Blakeney with Keith chasing him down in that Audi. That Audi's very good through this section. They'll be able to catch him up. They're through this section here. And up, a bit wide there from Blake, makes a mistake, and Keith will close right up to the back of him now. Trying to go alongside. Oh, he's almost alongside Blake. He's in space. They both go side by side through the kink. Very brave stuff there. And then Keith's on the inside. He's got to brake late. He's got to commit to the move. And contact. He just about commits to the move. And then, Blake hits the back of him and spins himself round. So that was just both cars getting a bit carried away with each other. And Blake, a bit like Stevie earlier, starts entertaining the crowd. Come on, Blake. Less power. And that's a bit of a dangerous rejoin, that, because if there was another car coming. But, yeah, Blake gets going eventually. So, and Keith gets third place. As Arzadar Blade coming through here to lap Callum. Obviously, they've both just pitted, so they've both made their pit stops now as Footman comes through to start another lap. Growly Bear must have made a mistake there. He's gone quite far back as well, so Growly Bear makes a little error there. But no problem, as there's Keith coming through shot, and then we've got Blakeney there. He's a bit further back, and Arzadar Blade obviously pitted, and Stacker, I don't know whether he's pitted yet, but he's a bit further back. Bidzster has not pitted yet, I don't think. Neither has TY. Neil, I don't think so yet either. And Stevie is just in now, so Stevie's in the pit lane now, and there he is. It's just fixed his lights for him there as he goes into the pit, so that's handy for the replay. So all cars with the lights on now. If you see a car without the lights on, that's just the game being glitchy. So hopefully Project Cars will sort that out for next game, Project Cars 3 hopefully. If I don't see him fixing this game anytime soon. As we go down the straight with Footman then. Footman goes through, and Growly Bear just coming out the pits now. Stevie will be coming down the pit lane as well. So let's see if anyone else is going to pit. Sorry for the camera changes, guys. I'm just trying to keep up with proceedings just to see if people are going to pit. So Footman is just about there. We've got Growly, Keith who's coming through there. Arzadar's pitted, so's Growly, and Blake's been in as well. So Blake has been in as well. Not sure about Stacker, but he's just coming around the second to last corner now. Is he going to pit yet? No, he's not. So Stacker goes round again. There's Bidzster. He's coming through the complex. So Bidzster through the complex with TY in tow. So still more or less the same gap. These two absolutely playing top trumps with each other, and they can't seem to top trump each other anyway. So both very close in this one. There's Neil in the Corvette, a bit further back, 14 seconds off TY, but still very close. We go down here. Let's see if any of these GT boys are going to pit this lap then. So Bidzster, no. TY, no. So both of them go round again. So remember, they're on lap 9, whereas the leaders in LMP1 are on lap 11. So they're more like halfway into their pit window now. The LMP1s and the GTs approaching halfway. So Neil Farmack pit this lap as we've got Keith pitting. So Keith comes in now. So this could be a crucial pit stop to see where he rejoins compared to Blake. I know there was that incident, but we'll have to see where things happen here. As Growly Bear is actually now behind Azadar Blade. So Azadar Blade takes third, Growly down to fourth. So we'll get a replay now that switched. So as you come back from that then, Azadar third, Growly fourth. Keith in the pits, he's still getting serviced here. So I think Keith will probably end up losing these places. Over there's Blake. So there's Azadar Blade approaching the last corner. Where's Keith? He's still in the pit box. So Keith, long stop here for Keith, and just about gets on his way now. So Keith will get on his way. Blakeney's still coming around that really long corner here, so I think Keith's safe in fourth place in class at the minute. He's just coming towards the end of the pit lane now. As we've got TY in front of Bidzster. TY goes in front of Bidzster, so Bidzster's made a mistake in the lead for the GTE. We'll get a replay. Okay, here's the replay. What happened to Bidzster then for him to lose the lead initially? So goes into here, he's really aggressive in, sideways, loses the back end, and goes straight round, half spin, and then rejoins with TY in the lead. So as you come back from that then, Bidzster goes back down to second place in class. So Footman there with, Azadar, Footman in the lead. Azadar Blade now into second in class. Growly third, and again we'll get all these positions confirmed for you after lap 14 when the pit window shuts, and then we'll get the confirmed order for you through that one. So we've got TY going through there, going through the long radius right corner, down towards the second to last corner now. Will TY pit this lap, or will Bidzster pit as well? Let's have a look. As TY goes, TY's coming in. TY's coming into the pits then. Bidzster is going to go round. Bidzster's going to try and put in a few hot laps here and try and get close to TY. So Bidzster is going to have to put some good laps in here as TY goes through the pit lane. So the battle for the GT battle for the lead is on. As we've got Azadar Blade and Growly still within a second of each other as they power out of the complex and out towards the long radius right. A little lift for Azadar Blade there, which is good. A good line through there for both drivers. Into the second to last corner. Both of these two have already pitted, so these two will be circulating round as Footman in the lead then. Way out in the lead, so dominating proceedings as usual this season. So Footman doing a good job here. Keith in fifth place, Keith in fourth place, Blakeney in fifth, and Stacker in sixth position in LMP1. Bidzster then is hammering this, then he's got to keep going round. Is Neil Farmack in? Yes, Neil Farmack's in. Stevie's already pitted, I think. So, yep, Stevie's already pitted. So this will be the battle for the next positions. Neil's coming down the pit lane. Stevie's coming down the last corner. So this could be close. Let's have a look at where Neil is then. Coming down the pit lane. Where Stevie's just coming past the exit of the pit lane now. It's going to be close. I think Stevie's got it though. Stevie's into the corner. There's Neil Farmack behind, rejoining just behind Stacker. So Neil Farmack rejoins behind Stevie then, and Stevie takes third position. So Neil Farmack loses position in the pit stops. Callum in fifth place in class. Obviously having a bit of a horrible race this time, so unlucky for Callum. Got to keep soldiering on, my friend. So where's Bidzster then? Bidzster's just come out of the complex, I think there. She's coming towards the long radius right. Into here. Right round. So Bidzster might pit this lap, or he might go around again. We'll have to see. Let's see if Bidzster pits this time. As we go into here, and yes, Bidzster is coming into the pits. So Bidzster into the pits. Very fast entrance into the pits. Does not want to lose any time. Slows down at the last minute for the pit lane line there. There's TY in the Aston Martin. So TY then is going to be the one to watch here. Is he going to be close enough to get out in front of Bidzster? Neil Farmack then in ninth. He's a bit further back. Let's see if there's any battles within the LMP1 ranks. As Azadar Blade still with 2 seconds to Growly, so still a nice decent gap there. As Bidzster's now in his pit box. And just leaving his pit box now, so Bidzster's pit stop is over. And where's TY? He's just coming towards the last corner now, so this could be quite close here. Bidzster's coming down the pit lane. TY is just coming out the last corner now. Let's go on board with TY here, and let's see whereabouts he's going to rejoin. Where's Bidzster? Where's Bidzster? There's Bidzster on the left. We've passed him. There's Bidzster. He's just coming out the pit lane now. And there is TY ahead of us. Oh, we go almost side by side out that corner. And then Bidzster flashes lights. Darn, I'm behind. So Bidzster closes up the gap, but TY in front. 0.6 of a second. Blakeney's now behind in the LMP1. So the battle for the leading GT is on as Bidzster has a little slide there, just getting used to the new tyres. There's Blakeney then behind, thinking, come on, need to get past. But nothing you can do. The GT cars have right of way when it comes to the racing line, just to try and keep the battle a bit more fair. As we go down here, will Bidzster have a go into the hairpin? Blakeney's going to come past though. Blakeney's going to, no he's not, he's going to wait for the straight, sensible stuff, onto the brakes. Bidzster right behind TY now. The Aston Martin will pull away on the straight though. But Blakeney will pull away past both of them. There we go, straight past. And then Bidzster versus TY for the lead in GT then. Let's have a quick look to Growly Bear and Arsenal. That's still 2 seconds between them, so we'll stick with the battle for the GT lead then at the minute. TY versus Bidzster, round 200 and whatever, because it's always these two that are having a battle on track, as Blakeney almost loses it there and almost gets passed by a GT car. That would have been embarrassing. But keeps ahead as Blakeney out. Blakeney does go off, and it is embarrassing because he's got passed by GT cars. So Blakeney goes off there, makes a mistake as TY runs wide, and Bidzster goes straight through. But TY's in the inside still. Bidzster's going to go around the outside and just give him room, and Bidzster goes straight through there. So TY makes a mistake, and Bidzster goes straight through. Blakeney's now going to pass these guys again. He's thinking, God, how hard is it to pass 2 GT cars? But Blakeney there. And then we've got Stacker not far behind him now, so that's not helped him out at all, as he still can't get past the GT cars. He's got to wait for the straight now as he goes wide there. And then onto the straight, TY's closing up to Bidzster. He's going for the move, and then Blakeney goes right round them both. As we look here for TY and Bidzster, TY on the inside. Will he get the move done? Yes, Aston Martin lead. So Aston Martin takes the lead from Bidzster in the Porsche. Down the hill then. Again, this is the battle on track, guys, because there's not many other battles on track that are as close as this, so we'll keep with this one for now. Going through the Silverstone section, as I like to call it, the left, right. Bidzster's lost it! Bidzster's gone round, he's lost control of the Porsche. Goes right round. So unlucky there for Bidzster, goes right round. So Bidzster rejoins there, probably just hit the curb or something and went right round, so... TY then with Stacker behind him now, so Stacker in the Toyota, he's just going to nip past TY on the inside here, is he? Or is he going to wait for the straight? He's going to wait for the straight. Sensible stuff there from Stacker. In 6th place, he's chasing Blakeney down, so he'll go onto the straight, get the hybrid power and go straight past the Aston Martin as though it's standing still. There we go. So TY then with a bit more of a comfy lead now, 6 seconds to Bidzster. As there is Bidzster onto the straight, so he'll be kicking himself after that. Then it is Neil. So one thing I will confirm for you guys is the order in the LMP1 class, because their pit window is now shut as they've just started lap 15. So Footman is in the lead then. Footman leads 4 in LMP1 and leads overall on track. Azadar Blade in 2nd place then in the Marek, with Growly Bear only 1.8 seconds behind him, so still that could be a battle to watch later on in the race. As we've got Keith there in 4th place, so 4th place for Keith in the Audi. Then we've got Blake in 5th place, who we've just seen for a bit. So Blake there will runs a bit wide onto the red stuff, so that could be a track limit. It's got to be careful there. So Blakeney goes through in 5th place and Stacker in 6th. He's only 4 seconds behind, so still one more major mistake for Blakeney, and that could see Stacker take a position. So the GT cars have still got a little bit to go with the pit stop window, but I do think they have all pitted now. So I'll definitely run you through that order after the next lap anyway. So TY definitely in the lead at the minute. Let's have a look back to the Azadar Growly battle then, as Azadar and Growly then. They go up the straight, so Azadar there, and then Growly a bit further back. Let's go on board with Growly to see if we can see Azadar. There he is in front, so from the roof camera of Growly Bear we can see Azadar Blade in front of us as we brake for the corner at the end of the straight into the apex and out of the corner. So nice work there from both them drivers. As we look back at TY, who's got Bidzster alongside him, so TY's made an error there. As both go side by side as Bidzster goes onto the AstroTurf. So TY's made a mistake there. So TY makes a mistake, Bidzster closes right up. And let's see out of here if Bidzster can make a move. No, not yet, so we'll just get a replay on what happened to TY. So as we come back from that then, TY makes his own mistake, and then Bidzster now dives up the inside into the hairpin. Straight in, but now TY's just going to go straight back on the cutback, and also with the power of the Aston Martin, it's going to be quite hard for Bidzster to keep with him on the straight. So Bidzster a bit over-ambitious there, but making his intentions clear to TY, I mean business. So there goes Footman in the lead of LMP1, straight through past these two. Down to the end of the straight then. Footman just about gets the car stopped there, so outbrakes himself a little bit. So it's still TY versus Bidzster, the closest battle on track at the minute. No one else is that close on track. Let's have a quick double check back, and no, there isn't. So we'll just check. We'll stay with TY and Bidzster then. The Aston Martin finally competitive in this championship. It took most of the season, but he's competitive now in that Aston Martin is TY. So he's now battling for the lead rather than being in 5th or 6th place as he goes wide there, goes wide, and Bidzster doesn't need a second invitation. Straight through on the inside goes Bidzster. So Bidzster goes straight through into the lead of GTE. So nice move there. I think TY just went a little bit wide there as Bidzster moves, slides out the corner. Both get the power down as the Aston Martin now will close up towards turn 1. You can see the gap going down. Bidzster moves across just to defend ever so slightly, just to make sure that TY's not going to go for anything as Bidzster goes wide. TY's on the inside, side by side down the hill. TY's fighting back and to go side by side, and Bidzster lets him go because he knows he might slide into him down the hill. So TY regains the lead then. So brilliant scrap between these two. Such class when these two races. Oh, TY's made a mistake there, and Bidzster goes right round the outside. So TY makes a little mistake there. Bidzster right round the outside and takes the lead back. Brilliant scrap. You'd think this were a sprint race with the way that they're tussling about it, but it's not. It's an endurance race. As we go up and over the top, down to the kink as Bidzster makes a little mistake there. I think he went off the track limits and he's let TY go through. So sensible stuff. Doesn't want to do track limits and take advantage. As he's still side by side with TY, but there lets him go through. And then onto the straight, Bidzster gets a good run onto the curb, but again, the Aston Martin will pull away on the straight. You'd think these two are up. Bidzster flashes his lights saying, hello, Cooey, look in your mirrors, it's me. So as they go down to the end of the straight then. Still the closest battle on track at the minute, guys. There's no one else that's close, so again, we're going to stay with this battle as we go down to the end of the straight. TY and the Aston Martin now into defence mode. Into the complex. Bidzster looking one way, looking the other. Just trying to put some pressure on that Aston Martin. As we go out of this corner, Bidzster has another little look there, but no way through. Aston Martin has to defend the inside. That could mean a slower run out of this corner, but no. Again, gets the foot down. Really good racing here between these two. Let's try and get hold of my favourite camera if we can, if it lets us. So not that one, it's the one that's on board that shows you the GoPro sort of view. That one, there we go. I wish this view were a permanent view because it's a beautiful view to use. As we go behind TY here, into the last corner and onto the straight, both with a bit of a slide, but unfortunately it does that. I've not even pressed a button and it just automatically takes it off. So I wish they'd keep that camera as a permanent camera. It'd be brilliant if they could. But we go up to the start-finish line, and let's have a look at everyone else. Let's not just focus on this battle for the entire race. Let's have a look at some other people on track then. As we look at, I think TY had a bit of a slide there. No, he's all right. So Arzadar Blade then is in 2nd place, 7 seconds ahead of Growley Bear. So pretty spread out in the LMP1 ranks. We've got Keith 5 seconds behind Growley. So Keith's closing up on Growley ever so slightly, but especially in this section because the Audi's good round here. Blakeney 5th and Stacker in 6th place. TY and Bidzster still battling out for the lead in GTE ranks as TY, oh, it was just a bit of lag there. It went a bit wide, then it lagged back on the track, so just a bit of lag there from TY. But again, I don't think that's anything to do with TY's connection. I think that's just the actual lobby at the minute because it's doing it to most people. As TY has Bidzster right behind him now into the hairpin to the straight. Bidzster's got to get in, get a good line out of here, straight line over the curb, try and get a good run as possible to stick with that Aston Martin on the straight. As he's right in the draft now, but the Aston Martin with the extra power. Even in the draft, Bidzster cannot catch up. The Aston Martin just absolutely keeping par with him. down the straight to the end. Onto the brakes, both drivers late on the brakes, into the complex. Again, no way through for Bidzster there, as the flames spitting out the Aston Martin from that V8. So V8 Aston Martin versus flat 6 Porsche. Absolutely brilliant battle here. As we go through the long radius right-hander, this is where the Porsche will close up a little bit on the Aston Martin, just having a bit more confidence in the corners. But having said that, the Aston Martin quite good round there that time, I do have to say. Into the second to last corner, a little bit more lag there again, so I do apologise for that. But the whole lobby was a bit laggy as we go up and over the last corner onto the start-finish straight. So still very close. As we look at Neil there in 9th place overall and 3rd place in class. He's doing a nice consistent job in the Corvette. Stevie back in 10th overall, 4th place in class. So TY then still with Bidzster behind him, but Bidzster looks for another way through, but no way through is given. Closes right up behind TY into the left-right Silverstone section, as I like to call it. Left, right, this is where the Porsche is good, and he'll catch up to the Aston Martin a little bit. And through this section and then up to the top. Both drivers very equal here. No one's really got a major advantage over the other. As we go down the hill towards the hairpin, Bidzster's going to have to go for a move here and do a block pass, or just keep the line and try and get a good run out. But again, can't quite make it stick as TY goes a bit wide, but still no way through for Bidzster here. So no matter what Bidzster tries here, he cannot get past TY. So there's Footman then in the lead. So have a quick look at Footman. He's in the lead of the race, dominating proceedings, 1 minute ahead of everyone else. Arzadar Blade in 2nd place. Growly Bear in 3rd with Keith 5 seconds behind, so still the gap between them two more or less the same. Then we've got Blake News 10 seconds behind Keith and 10 seconds in front of Stacker, so the LMP1 grid quite spread at the minute. But this is definitely the one thing that's not spread. TY versus Bidzster for GT honours. We'll just keep watching this battle as we go round the long radius right, slightly off camber, slightly downhill, very hard to get right, very easy to scrub the tyres as well. As Bidzster closes right up, TY's going to have to defend into the last corner now. That'll not help his run out, but again, the Aston Martin will have the power over the Porsche. But Bidzster gets a decent run there, and he's still in the draft, but still, again, no way through for Bidzster properly. Because that Aston on the straight is second to none. As you go down towards the first corner, then TY defends the inside hard this time. Bidzster, will he try and go for a switch back here? He's going to try and get a good run down the hill, leaves the Aston on the inside, but again, no way through here. And this section you can't really pass unless one car makes a mistake. As we go through here, very good. Got Arzadar Blade catching these two now, so that could be something to watch out for as well. As the traffic closes up, Arzadar Blade in the Marek. Bidzster goes a bit wider there, but goes for a tighter line on the way out to try and get a good real go. Look at the run Bidzster gets out of those corners there just by taking a different line. Goes through here, now he's going to try and go for the inside. TY defends the inside there. Bidzster tries to keep with him, and not going for a move yet. He gets on the inside, but again, does not have the grunt or the power out the corner to get past the Aston Martin as Arzadar Blade goes through in the Marek. So again, still stalemate between the two GT leaders. This is what LPB Racing is all about. We go into the corner, then Arzadar Blade goes into the corner on the brakes. As TY loses the back end and just about keeps in front of Bidzster. Bidzster had to panic brake there. So TY, the back end just starting to get loose. I wonder if those rear tyres have just about had it. As Bidzster then goes to the outside, now he knows that TY is vulnerable. He's got overheating rear tyres. Now's the time to pounce. But still can't get through. TY doing exactly what Bidzster would do. So Bidzster now being shown what it's like when he's in front when he defends. So TY, karma is a B word, and it's happening to Bidzster now, with TY being the one in defensive mode, Bidzster in the attack mode. As we go into the last corner, and out of it. TY still pulls away with the power again, so still no match for the Aston Martin is the Porsche. The Porsche is no match for that Aston Martin as they go up towards the first corner. Very nicely done. As we go down the hill, Bidzster still closes up, but again there's no way through here unless one car makes a mistake. Through the right, through the left, then this one's a longer right here. We're going to treat it as a one long apex, even though it looks like a double apex. Then into this one here, and quickly switch back to the other side for the run up the right left up the hill, then the left kink, which is very easy to go wide on, and Bidzster gets a good line and goes straight alongside TY there, and gets straight through. What a place to overtake there. Bidzster gets a good line, defends instantly from TY. What a move there from Bidzster. Don't know whether there was a little bit of contact or not, but it was a good move anyway. But we'll get a replay on that just to see if there was any contact or not. So as we come back from that then, Bidzster takes the lead fair and square in 7th place overall, first in class. So Bidzster from TY then. TY now in attack mode. We've got 2 cars close behind. Who's that? Is that Growly Bear and Keith? Yes it is. Keith's closed in on Growly Bear, 1.5 seconds now between them two, so the battle for 3rd in class is on. So some good battles happening on track here, but remember this is the we've already, the race is just, I can't believe I missed it again, the race is already finished. I do apologise ladies and gentlemen, I've done it again, but yeah, we'll get some replays on the finishing of the race. Okay guys, apologies for all that, I'm missing the guys crossing the line, but here they are crossing the line. Here is Footman coming across the line to win overall. Well done to Footman, big congratulations to him, takes another win. Well done Footman, he wins the race. Then it's going to be RZR Blade who will actually finish in 2nd position on track. But as you remember, they all got a bit more spread out, that's what caused the confusion as well as me focusing on the TY Bidzster battle because it was such a good battle. So Growly Bear will be in 3rd, Keith will finish 4th, Blake will be across the line in 5th, with Stacker just behind him in 6th place. And then the other finishers were Neil Farmack in the Corvette and Stevie in the Ford GT in 4th place in class, and then Callum in 5th place in class. So as we come back from the replays then, I do apologise for missing the overall crossing on the line. But we'll just finish off watching these battles then on what would be their last lap of the race. So it's now Keith and Growly Bear, and it's still Bidzster and TY. As we come around the last few corners, I was that busy and enjoying this battle that much that I forgot about the race. At the front, Footman's that far in front, didn't realise he crossed the line. As we go down to the last corner then, it's going to be Bidzster from TY who takes the GT honours, so Bidzster wins the GT race and Footman wins the LMP. So Bidzster wins the GT battle, and it's going to be Keith just behind Growly Bear on the line as well. I'm just going to pause it there so we don't actually lose the end of the replay. So apologies for missing stuff at the end there, but obviously we had those replays in earlier for the finishing of the race. So we'll get those results confirmed for you now, guys. Okay guys, here's the results from that then. So Footman takes victory in that race then. So well done to Footman, a commanding lead over RZR Blade in 2nd place, who was 1 minute and 24 seconds behind. So as we just go over the page, then it's Growly Bear in 3rd place, Keith in 4th, even though he does pick up a 5-second penalty for the incident with Stacker at the start, but obviously that doesn't affect his finishing position. Then Blakeney in 5th place, and Stacker in 6th for LMP1. Then the winner in GTE is Bidzster. Well done to Bidzster, he wins that one, but from a very close margin from TY. They were battling all race, very good race between them two, thoroughly enjoyable. Then we had Neil Farmack in 3rd in GTE, 4th in GTE was Stevie, and 5th in class was Callum. Okay guys, and here's a look at the standings. So Footman is in the lead then on 228 points. Then it is Bidzster 2nd on 215. Growly and Neil quite close, only a few points apart. Then we're also down the field, we've got plenty of battles happening down the field as well. Especially Keith and TY, they're very close. Then in the teams championship, we've got Bidzster and Stacker ahead on 340. Then we've got Stevie and Footman behind them on 327. And then Callum and Growly Bear on 309. So still a lot of scores to be settled in this championship still. So, there's your overall winner. Footman, he wins that one. Well done to Footman. And Bidzster is the winner in the GTE in the Porsche there. So, Bidzster wins the brilliant battle that he had all race with TY. TY a really worthy second there. So, Footman then wins overall in that one and extends his championship lead as we go into the final round at Fuji. We'll see you next week, guys. Take care.